For anyone who is interested in tarot today, if you were to ask them, what do you think of when you think of tarot? They would think of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Because what Pamela Coleman Smith did was create a narrative for every single card. And the narratives are so suggestive that you want to read into these cards.
Totally.
And they allow people to read into them in the way that they see fit. In Modern Visions, we are looking at the development of tarot and the proliferation of tarot in the 20th and the 21st centuries. And so the exhibition opens with the British occult revival and the publication of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck in 1909. And the second section focuses on surrealism and the situation with the surrealists dealing with World War II and that instability in their lives. So many of the artists who were in exile, like Leonora Carrington, Mercedes Varro, and Breton, his circle in Marseille, began working with tarot.
I mean, just looking at this image, it's called The Other Clock, thinking about alternative forms of timekeeping and a spread of tarot cards as sort of this place where time becomes really fuzzy and these moments in the past, the present, and the potential future start to engage with one another in a way that's not super linear. I think is a really interesting starting point to thinking about tarot.
Yeah, I mean, what I think I like about this is that it is speaking to the fact that tarot is about accessing a space and an experience beyond our world. Part of the thesis of the show is that tarot, like occult revivalism in general, has a resurgence in periods of intense conflict or political turmoil. And in the US in the 1960s and 70s, we were going through a lot of different kinds of changes. And I think that fed into this interest in finding alternative ways of existing in the world. And tarot was really a part of that growing interest. So one of the artists that we were particularly excited to include from very early on was Marjorie Cameron, who goes by Cameron. And that was a lot of fun, researching her interest in tarot and finding more about her interest in the occult.
I think also seeing the way that she used her drawing practice as sort of akin to her ritual practice, and even just thinking about the act of drawing itself as something that was so interwoven within that.
The final moment of the show focuses on the contemporary moment. And I think that's no coincidence that there was an increased interest in tarot during the pandemic in 2020. Feeling highly uncertain in that moment and not really knowing what to expect, we turned to things outside ourselves. So here we are looking at a suite of drawings created specifically for the show by the British artist Chris O'Feely, who lives in Trinidad. And what he ended up doing was linking tarot to the practice of carnival within Trinidadian culture, making associations between the major arcana figures and various carnival figures. And I think one of the reasons why this makes so much sense is that in its very nature, tarot is a kind of flexible tool, right? It's a flexible medium. So when you lay out the cards, their meaning changes. And I think that openness combined with that sense of continuity is very appealing to artists now.